Okay, this section here I want to make it a little more interesting and add some texture and color in materials to our room. In prepping it for that, I want to make sure that all my surfaces are three-dimensional. They work a little bit better when they are a little more trustworthy in terms of how you're using them. So I can tell that my mirrors are, because they're doing that funny kind of highlightation thing, I can tell that they are not three-dimensional. And the floor too. So I want to establish this floor here. I'm going to double click on the floor to activate its group and push pull it downward. Let's say 4 inches. That's about what we've been using for the walls and everything. So 4 inches, and click on that, and click off my group, and now I've got some floor thickness. Looks a little better. And let's look at our mirrors here. So we've got a mirror. That's a group. I want to double click on that, and give it some dimension as well. So I'm going to push pull that mirror, click on it, and start to pull it. I've pulled it out already 6 7/8. If I just type in a 1/4 inch, 0.25, it's going to pull it out automatically, 0.25 inches. Click off that. You can see that's tiny. It's pulled out 0.25. All right, click off of that. Go to the next group. This next group has 2 things in it. So I want to double click on that to open the group, but also double click on it again so that I'm just touching the group that the mirror is in. Now I'm going to take, and I want to pull my mirror out. I did the other one with the push-pull tool. Grab it, touch on it, and then pull. I could do 0.25, or I can write in 1/1/4 for inches. And there it's established. Now, to get out of that group, I need to click once to get out of the mirror group, and 2 to get out of the mirror and the light group. All right, I'm going to finish up with this one. Double clicked on that. Double click on the mirror. So I'm in the mirror group now. Push pull. Okay, in 1/4 inch. And now I've got 3-dimensional mirrors and floor. Everything else, my wall is 3-dimensional, everything else is 3D. So to paint them, I want to utilize the materials portion of the cloud. So materials over here, click on, and it is giving me the materials here. Anything that's under this home here is what's inside of the model already. So this is Brad's shirt here, and this is Brad's cuffs there. This is cuffs, and this is Brad's little face, and probably his beard. Anyway, all right. Thanks, Brad. And the rest of this stuff, this is probably the color of the chair, fabric of the chair. All right, so I want to paint. Let's do the floor. Sorry, the floor. Well, let's do the walls first. Sorry, let's do the walls. I want to double click on those, or just single click. All right. Sorry. materials for the wall. I want to use something besides what's in the model. I want to use the, it's called the Browse tool here for the materials. Click on that, and it gives me a wide variety of resources. Carpet, leather, lots of different things. Roofing materials, stone, wood. Let's just look at lots of different woods. Okay, that's nice. But let's look at colors here. Clicking on colors, whoa, lots of colors. But this room is pretty boring, so it's a gray. I'm going to click on the gray, and as I move over, it automatically puts some color, that gray color, in my paint bucket. And I hover it over what I want to paint, click it, and it paints it. Now it's painted the whole entire group. If I want to paint just a portion of that group, I need to click on it first, double click the group, activate a surface, and then just paint that surface. Okay, so I've got the surface, it's gray. Right now, as I've painted it, just the interior part of the surface, this portion here, edge, has not been painted. It's still the white color of the established model. Let's see, I think paint the whole thing just for fun. All right, there's the color, paint the whole thing. You can see it changed it a little bit. All right, so the whole thing is now gray. Painting the floor about the same way. I'm going to click on it once to tell it that I want to paint the floor. And let's paint it, instead of paint, let's use a different material. Closing this. Let's go to tile. Click on tile. There's a bunch of tiles to play with. Let's look at this one right now. Click on it, puts it in the bucket, and it's established something that looks kind of like that, which is interesting. Might not be exactly the tile that I like, so I'm going to try another color. I'm going to click on this one and see what that looks like. It's a little dark. Let's try this one, just see what that looks like. It's too tiny. This one, I'll go back to this one now. See how I like that. All right, so I've got a tile established, tile floor. I've got the walls. I've got some color that I must have put in for the countertop. Let's see. I'm going to put some countertop there. Stone here, countertop. Let's establish a stone here. Let's look at this one. See how that looks. That's interesting. That's a nice stone. If I have found a color and don't remember what color it is, it's the paint bucket tool has a nice feature in it, which is click on the paint bucket. It's got this eyedropper tool which sucks up color. Let's see, eyedropper tool, hover it over a surface that I have previously painted, click on it, and it sucks up the color, puts it in the paint bucket, and then if I use it, it uses that color. That's pretty interesting, but it's not what our room looks like, so I'm going to just undo that. Command Z, or undo, bring it back to what it was. But that eyedropper tool was kind of cool. All right, let's paint the mirrors and be done with this. To paint the mirror, I'm going to activate it. Go over here to glass and mirrors. That's an interesting thing. And let's see. I'm going to click on this. See how that looks. Click on it, and it has given me a surface that kind of looks like a mirror. I'm going to do the same thing with this one, but remember that this is a group that's got two things in it. I'm going to double click, and that way I don't paint the light and paint the mirror. Okay, doesn't look a lot different, but that's been painted. And then one more, double click on that, and paint that wrong one, this mirror. And we've painted all three mirrors. Let's see what it looks like as we move around. Okay, got definitely a difference between the lights in the walls and the mirrors. And I'm not crazy about this chair color. It's very gray. I'm going to see what happens if I change it to a, see if we can do it this very dark color here. Doesn't want to paint all of it, so I'm going to go inside of it here, double clicking on it. I'm going to paint different portions of it. It's going to group how they've built this chair as different things that can be painted, different things, different groups within a group. This back here, let's see, double click on the back. Slightly different color just for fun, just so we can see it. It's blue. Another kind of gray here. All right. And the seat. Let's see how that looks. Stepping back out of my group. Okay. That's a kind of funny looking chair. Both. That's not too bad. All right. So just looking around it a little bit with the orbit tool. Zooming back. And it's not too bad. Right. If I wanted to add more, obviously with your room, you're going to want to add more detail to it. Maybe a switch plate, bracket, some other feature that might be in the room. Certainly an option. So let's stop here, and then we'll save it. All right.